For this project, I used data from the Open Exoplanet catalog, which is hosted on GitHub. My web application parses the data from an XML file and creates a simple scatterplot based on the options in the form to the left of the graph. To create your first scatterplot, simply choose an option from one of the drop-down menus. The graph will automatically update when you change any parameter. The axis options will change which values are plotted on each axis. The scale options will change the type of scale from linear to logarithmic, or log for short. The logarithmic scale is better for data that has quite a large range. It wouldn't make any sense for some parameters, like date, for example. The size dropdown will change the radius value for each point. The larger the radius, or the mass of the planet that the circle is representing, the larger the point on the scatterplot. The constant option will make all of the points the same size, which makes the smaller planets much easier to see. The plot itself also has a few interactive features. Hovering over each point will bring up a box with information about that particular planet from the dataset. Beneath the graph and the controls, there's a table explaining some of the vocabulary words and the units used in the scatterplot. This is meant as a very basic introduction to some of the concepts here. I decided to pose a few questions and set the initial conditions for someone who might not know where to start exploring. These questions are meant to help users with graph interpretation and give them a starting point. Why don't you try coming up with some questions on your own and use the graph to answer them? This was my final project for CS50.